Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Glad to be here with you guys. I hope you guys are having a great day so far. And today, I'm going to pick up, we're going to talk about suffering for righteous sake today in 1 Peter chapter 3, verses 8 through 12. So I'm going to read it out of the Message Bible because I think it's just like I said once before. I like the way it breaks it down a little bit, and then we'll read it from the ESV Study Bible. So it says, summing up, be agreeable, be sympathetic, be loving, be compassionate, be humble. That goes for all of you. No exceptions, no retaliation, no sharp-tongued sarcasm. Instead, bless. That's your job, to bless. You'll be a blessing and also get a blessing. Whoever wants to embrace life and see the day fill up with good, here's what you do. Say nothing evil or hurtful. Snub evil and cultivate good. Run after peace for all you're worth. God looks on all of this with approval, listening and responding well to what he's asked, but he turned his back on those who do evil. And that little verse right there kind of reminds me of, remember when God killed, like, I don't know, it was like so many thousand people, it was like 20,000 people or something. The Israelites, when he opened up the ground and swallowed them, they were doing so much evil. And it said, but he turns his back on those who do evil things. And that was the first thought, so I thought I'd share that with you. But right here it says in the ESV, I'm reading out of a study Bible. If you don't have a study Bible, I would encourage you. It's the black leather. You can find it on Amazon. It's like $50 to $60, but it actually breaks down verses by study notes. And I think that just helps all of us to just go a little bit deeper into the word, so that way we can truly get the understanding of it. So it says, finally, all of you, you have unity of mind, sympathy, brotherly love, a tender heart, and a humble mind. Do not repay evil for evil or reviling for reviling, but on the contrary, bless, for those to this you were called, that you may obtain blessing. And the note says, a little bit of the note says, those who bless others will receive a blessing from God. Verse 10, for whoever desires to love life and sees good days, let him keep his tongue from evil and his lips from speaking deceit. Let him turn away from evil and do good. Let him seek peace and pursue it. For the eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are open to their prayer. But the face of the Lord is against those who do evil. I love what some of the notes say between 10 and 12. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's a lot of notes. But a few things that stuck out to me was this. Obedience to God in daily life is the path to experiencing God's blessing. Okay? I'll read that again because I sometimes struggle. Obedience to God in daily life is the path to experiencing God's blessing. And I'm going to use my job again. It's so hard for me to be obedient to the Lord when I got these people getting on my bus. And I one of my prayers is like, God, help me look at these people as if you're hopping on the bus. And I've been getting better at it. But man, there's just those days where I look at these people and I don't look at them with brotherly love. I fall short, so that really stuck out to me. Another one that stuck out to me in the notes of chapter 3, verses 10 through 12, it says, for the eyes of the Lord are on the righteous to observe and care for them, and his ears are open to their prayer for various needs and cares. This does not mean that God keeps obedient believers from suffering. So this is saying that we are going to suffer. Yes, we are going to have a loved one that's going to get cancer. Yes, that we are going to have a loved one that something bad happen to them. They might have been touched in an appropriate way. Yes, we are going to lose our parents. Yes, we are going to lose our sons. But that's what he says. I mean, it's telling us that we are going to suffer. We're not excluded from not suffering. Yes, we're all going to. I mean, look at, I'm guilty of 2 divorces, and that was suffering in itself as well for my walk with Christ. You know, we're all going to suffer. It just different ranges, you know? But it says, but check this out. It says, but that God will provide his grace to strengthen and establish believers in the midst of suffering and in the times of great need. God, that gives me chills. That gives me peace in my heart, knowing that no matter what's going to go on, God sees. He says God will provide his grace to strengthen and establish believers in the midst of suffering and the time of great need when we need him the most. And that's just soothing to the soul. Soothing to the soul. And in 1 Peter chapter 3, verses 8 through 12, if I can encourage you guys, I'm going to take you guys to Psalms chapter 34. We're going to reach Psalms chapter 34, 12 through 16, I believe. Yes, 12 through 16. But I would encourage you guys to read Psalms 34. It is absolutely it's just how everything comes together, you know? It's just mind-blowing. So verse 12, so Peter was quoting some of this. Verse 12, chapter 34, Psalms. What man is there who desires life and loves many days, that he may see good? Keep your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking deceit. Turn away from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. The eyes of the Lord are towards the righteous, and his ears towards their cry. The face of the Lord is against those who do evil, to cut off the memory of them from earth. I want to read a little bit more because 34 is really, it says, when the righteous cries for help, the Lord hears and delivers them out of all their troubles. The Lord is near to the broken heart and saves the crushed spirit. So that verse, if you think about it, when we are in our suffering, whether we're obedient, right? Well, you know, whether you're not obedient, even when I wasn't obedient, I was suffering. So, you know, either way, you're going to suffer. But look at this. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. Like, God is here. So what Peter describes is the behavior and characteristics that Christians are to demonstrate even in the face of persecution. They are to act in unity and harmony, show sympathy, love and compassion and humility in their dealings with people. Ouch. I fail. Gosh, I fail. I got it. Just keep me in prayer about my job, okay? But I sometimes I fail. It's a stressful job. You know, and I'm not the only one that has one, you know. Once again, Peter reminds believers that at all times our behaviors to represent Christ. So, at all times represent Christ. The question is, and we were just talking about this on Sunday at our men's Bible study, is how are we representing Christ? We are waiting for something, when we're going through something, how are we representing him? Are we doing what Peter tells us and reminds us that Peter reminds believers that at all times our behavior is to represent Christ? Or are we representing Christ like Moses? Like breaking tablets over the wall, showing anger. I mean, which one are we doing? You know? I mean, that's a great question to ask yourself, right? Paul quotes the blessing of such behavior from Psalms 34, because that's what we were talking about. When believers turn away from evil and seek peace, God will reward this conduct and his constant presence, his protection, and his peace. So, a question for you guys, and you ask yourself when you're driving, is which of the characteristics will you seek God to impart and strengthen in you as you face trying circumstances? Let me read it again. Which of the characteristics will you ask God to impart and strengthen in you as you face trying circumstances? God bless you guys. I wanted to talk to the people who are in Arizona. We have a men's group, men's Bible study at North Phoenix Baptist that's been kicked off this past Sunday. And if you're available, 9 o'clock, room 207. Come hang out. Let's talk about Jesus. Let's talk about what the book of Esther that we're going through, and it's a great way just to connect with other men and sharpen each other's sword. God bless you guys. Have a great day.